Hi, my name is Charlotte, and I'm a breast cancer survivor. In a series of short videos, I've been sharing my breast cancer journey with you. If you missed those two segments, I'll leave a link above so you can view those videos. In this segment, I'll be sharing about going through chemo and dealing with its side effects. When I went to see the oncologist before beginning chemo, one of the things we discussed was my treatment. I would have 6 rounds of chemo, one every 3 weeks. He told me that I could choose to stay home during my treatment or work. He said he usually recommended to his patients to continue to work if they could and as long as they could in order to keep busy so that they would not focus on their illness. I chose to work, and he completed the necessary paperwork for me to be able to take intermittent sick days when it was necessary. In my previous session with the teaching nurse, she informed me that one of the side effects of the chemo drugs was hair loss. Now, 95% of the time, I wore wigs as I was wearing protective styles and growing my hair out. But during this appointment with the oncologist, I wore my hair. He reiterated what the nurse had said to me and told me that in about 4 to 6 weeks after my first chemo session, I would lose my hair. He offered to give me a prescription for a wig if I wanted it. Even though I had wigs of my own, out of curiosity, I took the prescription and went to one of the 2 wig shops that the Cancer Care Center recommended. After talking to the shop owner, I found the whole process of obtaining one of these wigs costly, complicated, and more work than what I was accustomed to. Since I wore wigs most of the time, I was well aware of the cost of a human hair lace unit, and I found their prices to be at least 50% more. Also, since I did not plan to wear the same wig every day, I just decided to use the wigs I already had, since I had a variety of styles and colors. When I came home from that appointment, I began researching for the best product that I could use to secure my wigs after losing my hair, because I did not want to use hair glue. I found several videos that recommended the Got to Be Glued hair gel, and after watching a few instructional videos on how to use the product, I decided I would buy it for myself. I went out and I bought 2 sample sizes of this product. I developed my own application process and was completely happy with the results, as my units stayed on all day and could easily be removed with just warm water. I wanted to be as prepared as possible for what was going to happen once I lost my hair. Before beginning my chemo treatments, I prayed and told God, I'm not dependent on these doctors, but I'm dependent on you to work through the wisdom, the knowledge, and the ability that you've given them. Do not let them over-medicate me, under-medicate me, but give me exactly what I need to get through this. Not only was I asking God for his direction for me, but I extended the ask to my team of doctors. Proverbs 3 and 6. My first chemo treatment was on Friday, November 17, 2017. My second chemo session was on December 8th. I remember I was lying in bed the day after Christmas, just twirling the twist in my hair, when I noticed a smooth spot on my scalp that had not been there before. I moved my fingers over to another area on my scalp and I felt another smooth spot. Then I said to myself, okay, this is happening. I got up, I went into the bathroom, I took down one of my twists and began pulling my hair. Sure enough, 6 weeks after I began chemo, my hair was coming out. I didn't bother undoing the rest of the twist. I got the scissors, I cut the hair off, I put it in the trash, I got back in bed and finished watching TV. Now, although I was prepared to lose my hair, I wasn't emotionally ready to go without hair until 8 months later. I also lost my eyebrows, and so far they have not grown back. Before each chemo session, I had to get blood work done to make sure my vital organs were functioning properly, to check my iron and red blood count levels, and periodically I got EKGs to make sure my heart was strong and healthy. When I went to see the doctor before my third round of chemo, he informed me that my tumors were responding well to the treatment and that both had shrunk from their original size. The small one by 50% and the larger one by 1/3. He also asked if I had begun experiencing any numbness or tingling in my feet. I said only a little at the time. He then explained that I would begin experiencing neuropathy in my feet, and my toenails and my fingernails would turn dark. When the neuropathy started, from the ball of my feet to the tips of my toes became consistently numb and my toenails turned black. Although I didn't feel any pain in my feet, my ankles and my feet would swell consistently. Massages and elevation helped, but only a little, as it was the drugs affecting my nerves. I did switch from wearing my heels regularly and wore flats more often, and I was careful to watch where I walked. When my fingernails became dark, they became so bruised that it was painful for me to button a blouse, zip a dress, tie up my tennis shoes, zip up my pants, and put on regular shoes without a shoe spoon. I had to adjust my wardrobe by wearing clothes that I could easily pull on and off, and flat shoes that I could easily slip on. It also became difficult for me to type at work. I would sometimes sit bowls of ice water by my desk and just soak my fingers until they were numb so that I couldn't feel the pain when I was typing. I also wrapped bandages around my fingernails to prevent them from bumping against anything, as I was told that they could fall off. Fortunately, that did not happen to me. And I also had to be careful when I was holding things because I could easily drop it. I sometimes experienced dry mouth and nosebleeds. I noticed that the nosebleeds were prominent the first 2 days after my chemo sessions. My doctor explained that my nostrils were getting dry from the chemo drugs, then suggested that I drink more water to keep my body as hydrated as possible. And this would solve the problem. For the dry mouth, he suggested rinsing periodically with Biotin mouthwash, which was very helpful, as well as drinking more water. I experienced insomnia, for which I would sometimes use the drug-free sleep aid Midnight, which a friend of mine named Jackie Jones introduced to me. Or sometimes I would just drink warm milk. I also experienced memory loss and confusion, and sometimes found it difficult to think of words that were familiar to me and would forget the names of people that I had known for a long time, so I just began to write things down. I also experienced mild depression. During those times when I would feel this overwhelming urge to cry for no apparent reason, I would just remind myself of how much God loved me and His promise to bring me through this part. I would pray and continue to tell myself, if God brought me to it, He'll bring me through it. If I had questions about anything that was going on with me, I made sure to write it down and bring the questions to my doctor visits so that I could get the answers that I needed. Now I'm going to end this segment right here, and we'll conclude this segment in my next video. If you enjoyed this video, be sure to hit the like button and remember to subscribe to my channel if you want to know when the next video is uploaded. As always, thank you for watching and listening.